What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here with another video. The video we have today are the 5 takeaways from the 1-0 win up at the Hawthorns away at West Brom yesterday. A very hard-fought win. Definitely a game of two halves. That's the honest truth of the matter, and you've got to give praise to the way West Brom set up and played their game to frustrate Tottenham. Nearly job done for West Brom, but not quite. Let's just get into the 5 takeaways. And the first takeaway from the game was the dominant Eric Dier.
Yeah, so Eric Dier had put in a really good performance yesterday. A lot of people calling him out for putting in a dominant display, and the stats absolutely bear it out yesterday. 6 out of 6 aerial duels won, 7 out of 8 duels won in total. 7 clearances, more than any other player on the pitch, and 8 recoveries, which is more than any other defender apart from Reguilon on the pitch. So really impressive stats. The stats bear out what everyone was seeing on the pitch, which is Eric Dier was completely dominant. The striker barely had a sniff, and he was absolutely fantastic yesterday.
Yeah, he was. There's no two ways about it. He was fantastic, and
every ball.
And him and Toby Alderweireld, their partnership really flourishing these last 3 or 4 games. I just would call on Eric Dier to make these performances, these really commanding performances, proper consistent. Because I don't think he has done that just yet. Signs are good the last 3 or 4 games, but I still want to call on Eric Dier to be that proper commanding, consistent centre-back that we know he can be.
And he hasn't had the most high quality of strikers to deal with. I know he had Chris Wood and Barnes to deal with against Burnley, but other than that, Maupay didn't play for Brighton, and Grant hasn't exactly set the world alight for West Brom. So obviously a higher quality opposition is still to come, but the signs early are Dier settling in again at centre-back.
Yeah, I mean, the real tests are going to come after the international break with the Man Cities, the Chelseas, the Arsenals, the Liverpools coming up. But you just got to commend Dier the way he's playing at the moment. He said at the back end of last season how he thinks that centre-back is his role, and I believe that he is growing into that role. And let's move on to the second takeaway of the game, and that is Jose Mourinho's substitutions changing the game yet again.
Yeah, once again, we're struggling to get a result, and we need our subs to come on and make an impact. And again, same thing as against Brighton. Lo Celso comes on and Vinicius come on. They both had more expected goals than Bale and Ndombele and Son put together. And they only played for a combined, I think Lo Celso played 25 minutes, Vinicius 11 minutes. So in those small times, they had a higher XG than Bale, Son and Ndombele had with all their time on the pitch. It really shows that the subs are really coming on there, really contributing to the team. They're not just catching up to the speed of the game. They're getting in tune quite quickly, and the way Mourinho makes his subs is making an impact at the moment. So subs change the game yet again.
And this is what we've been calling for a long time now. Throughout pretty much the whole Pochettino reign, we were calling on, we need subs that can come on and make a difference. We didn't see that for pretty much the whole of the Pochettino, and we had like a strong 11, and that was about it. Now you can see the bearings of like a deep squad. The fruits are really bearing its colours at the moment, and you've got to say that the subs more often than not now are changing the games, and that is credit to Daniel Levy, credit to Jose Mourinho and how they built this squad.
Credit to the players as well coming on, and credit to them for having the right attitude when coming onto the pitch and changing the game.
Yeah. And the third takeaway from the West Brom win is that Sissoko puzzle.
Yeah, so Sissoko, I'm really kind of struggling to see his role. I get what his role in the team is. I get that he's kind of the legs to add to Højbjerg's defensive nous and Ndombele's kind of attacking instincts. You kind of got the legs of Sissoko to compensate for both. But in terms of the stats, he kind of isn't. Let's go through the stats. He made 1 tackle throughout the whole game. He only had 2 aerial duels throughout the whole game, and he lost them both. He had 6 duels in total, only winning 1. In comparison, Lo Celso had played for 25 minutes and competed for 10 duels. 10. Yeah. Throughout the whole game, Sissoko only had 6.
And Sissoko's supposed to be in there for his physicality and these
for those duels, exactly. So he only competed for 6 and only won 1 for 80 minutes on the pitch. Lo Celso was on for 25 minutes, competed for 10, winning 5. He only made 3 recoveries throughout the whole game, which is the same as Gareth Bale. He only made 1 interception. He made 34 passes, which is the same as Ndombele, and he went off 20 minutes before Sissoko did. And he only made 6 passes in the final third, which was the least of any outfield player. So he's not contributing that much, as much defensively, and he's not contributing that much going forward either. So he's kind of a middleman, and I'm not sure what his role specifically is in this team. The stats bear out as well that he doesn't really suit a defensive role or attacking role. He's kind of in between, and maybe that's what Jose wants. But maybe when we get someone like Lo Celso in there, we'll have a much more well-rounded midfield than having Sissoko, who sometimes, when we play a weaker opposition, feels like a waste of a midfield spot.
Yeah, I would say that in this particular game, in an isolated situation, then that's correct. But I actually think Sissoko, over the last 3 or 4 games, has put in real work for the team and has added the value. Yes, we all know his quality at the end of all his runs and his quality on the ball is not great. And yes, it needs upgrading, and Lo Celso can offer that. But I think Sissoko, maybe the West Brom game aside, has offered something really valuable to the team. And those stats, I think, when you compare them up to the last 3 or 4 games, is probably the lowest out of those 3 or 4 games. So.
I'll have to see. I have to compare them. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm just there are people questioning whether what Sissoko does in the role that he's playing, and I can kind of understand those questions, and the stats bear out why he's being questioned in that way as well. Yeah,
I think the stats for this game in particular do bear out. But look, I think everyone knows what they want, and everyone wants a midfield 3 of Højbjerg, Ndombele and Lo Celso. It remains to be seen if there's enough physicality in that midfield for that to actually be a proper option. But I would say it probably will be enough physicality, because Lo Celso, however much attacking and nimble on his feet he is an aggressive player when he wants to be. Ndombele, he's got the physical presence a bit as well, and Højbjerg is Højbjerg, you know what I mean? So I think that it is a kind of a bit of a stopgap, this Sissoko in the middle 3 until Lo Celso comes. But at the moment, I think he's doing a good job. Just I think he was poor against West Brom, but I think the previous games before that he was good.
Yeah, okay.
Let's move on to number 4, and the 4th takeaway from the West Brom game is more possession but less control this time.
Exactly. Last week it was less possession, more control, but this week Spurs had more possession. We had 59% possession. We had more passes than the opposition. We had higher passing accuracy than the opposition. Complete opposite to Brighton, where we had less possession, less passes and less passing accuracy. And although our XG was higher than West Brom's expected goals was a lot higher than Brighton's. They had a 0.8 expected goals compared to Brighton's 0.3. They had more shots than Brighton, and they had more shots on target than Brighton as well. So it shows that just because the opposition have less of a possession doesn't mean they're having less chances and more control in the game, which Brighton had maybe had more of the illusion of control, whereas West Brom actually were creating more areas where they can hurt us.
Yeah, no, I think that's completely right. I think that the way the game went against West Brom and against Brighton, I would still say that you would say we deserved the win against West Brom more than we did against Brighton, and we had more possession. And yeah, look, everything you say is pretty much spot on. So yeah, there's nothing much for me to add on that. I think that's pretty much spot on. But let me know what you think. Did you think we were more in control against West Brom, or did you think we were more in control against Brighton? Let me know in the comment section below. But now let's move on to the 5th and final takeaway of the West Brom game. And who else to finish it off but that man, Harry Kane. And Harry Kane is more than just a striker.
Exactly. So we all know he got his 150th Premier League goal on Sunday, putting him in the top 10 of the all-time Premier League goal scorers list. But he showed as well on Sunday that not only is he...
he's up to 9th now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's up to 9th, I think, level with Michael Owen. But not only is he a man, a goal scorer and a goal assister, but he's also a team player as well. He battles for the team, he fights for the team, and that was shown in these stats as well. Kane
all season,
all season, true, but Kane competed for more duels and more aerial duels than anyone else on the pitch. But not only did he compete for more duels and more aerial duels, but he also had more final third passes. He had more shots and more touches in the box than any other player. So he's showing he's able to fight for the team and give himself for the team. But that's not curbing his striking instincts. He's still getting in the box. He's still getting shots off, and he scored the winner.
Yeah.
So this is he's the complete striker at the moment, and there's no doubt about it. Harry Kane is a defender, he's a defensive midfielder, he's a CAM, he's a striker, he can be a winger
Box to
as well.
box.
He's everything you want in a player. He's just and he's a leader as well on that pitch. So Harry Kane, the marvel, is more than just a striker.
Exactly. Everyone's hat's got to go off to Harry Kane at the moment. He is the best player in Europe, hands down, on form, that's for sure. So look, you know when we used to do these videos about a year and a half ago, and we used to rate Harry Kane, and we used to be like the all action displays of Harry Kane, that was completely nothing to what he's showing now. It is an absolutely night and day to what we were seeing. Like back then, yeah, he used to drop deep, he used to put balls in the box and make himself a busybody just in like the final third of the pitch, but now he's a busybody in literally the whole length of the pitch. I mean, like you said, he's our best defender, best midfielder, best attacker. Harry Kane, the best player, never mind striker in Europe at the moment, and I'm not having anyone argue against that because I think it is pure facts. So that is it. That is our 5 takeaways from the West Brom game. The first takeaway was that dominant Dier. The second takeaway was Mourinho's substitute changing the game yet again. Number 3 was that Sissoko puzzle. Number 4 was more possession but less control this time. And number 5, who else but that man Harry Kane being more than just a striker. Those are our 5 takeaways. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with our takeaways. If you have any more takeaways, like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.